The evening air drifted softly through my apartment window, carrying the faint hum of the city outside. I stretched my arms over my head, rolling my shoulders to ease the stiffness that had settled into them after an exhausting day at work. My job as a marketing coordinator demanded long hours, and today had been particularly stressful with back-to-back meetings and a last-minute campaign revision. I sighed, rubbing at the knots in my shoulders, knowing I should probably book a massage appointment soon. As I reached for my phone, scrolling absent-mindedly through messages, a new one popped up from Jason. "Hey, you doing okay? You looked tense at work today." I smiled slightly, appreciating his concern. Jason and I had been friends since college, inseparable from the moment we met in freshman year. Our friendship had lasted through breakups, job changes, and even an ill-fated road trip where we got lost in the middle of nowhere with no GPS signal. Now, we both worked at the same firm, sitting just a few desks apart, which made our daily interactions effortless. "Yeah, just a long day. My shoulders are killing me," I replied. His response came almost instantly. "I can help. I used to give my ex massages all the time. I promise I'm pretty good at it." I paused, rereading his message. Jason and I were close, but not in a physical sense. Sure, we had hugged a few times and there had been moments of casual touches, a nudge, a pat on the back, but a massage felt like a different level of closeness. I hesitated before responding. Thanks, but I'll be fine. I'll just use a heating pad or something." A few seconds later, my phone buzzed again. "Come on, Emily. It's just a massage. No weirdness. Just helping a friend out." I bit my lip, debating. My shoulders did hurt, and Jason had always been someone I trusted. He had been there for me through every heartbreak, every disappointment, and every small victory. If I couldn't trust him, who could I trust?
"Fine.
But if you make it weird, I'm kicking you out," I typed.
Deal."
"Be there in 10. I rolled my eyes, but felt a small smile tug at my lips. When Jason arrived, he was dressed in a simple fitted t-shirt and sweatpants, carrying a small bottle of massage oil in his hand. I arched an eyebrow at him. "You came prepared." He grinned. "Told you I take this stuff seriously." I sat down on the couch, suddenly feeling a little self-conscious. He moved behind me, his hands resting lightly on my shoulders for a moment before he applied gentle pressure. His touch was warm and firm, and as he began kneading my muscles, I felt the tension start to melt away almost instantly. I let out a deep sigh. "Wow, okay, this actually feels amazing." "Told you," he said, his voice close to my ear. Minutes passed in silence as his fingers worked through the knots in my shoulders. The sensation was more comforting than I had expected. His hands were skilled, moving with just the right amount of pressure, and for the first time all day, I felt completely relaxed. But then something shifted. I wasn't sure if it was the way his thumbs pressed into the base of my neck or the way his breath fanned lightly against my skin, but a subtle awareness crept over me. I had known Jason for years, but I had never thought of him in this way, never noticed how steady his hands were or how his touch lingered just a second longer than necessary. "You're really tense, Emily," he murmured. "You should let yourself relax more." Something about his tone sent a ripple of warmth through me. My heart beat a little faster, though I wasn't sure why. "Maybe I should," I said softly, surprised at how quiet my voice had become. His hand slowed, his fingertips brushing gently against the curve of my neck. I turned my head slightly, and suddenly, we were closer than we had ever been before. His green eyes met mine, and there was something in his expression, something unreadable, something hesitant yet searching. "Emily," he started, but I shook my head slightly. "We should stop," I whispered. Immediately, he pulled his hands away, clearing his throat.
Yeah,
You're right." An awkward silence filled the space between us. I wasn't sure why I had stopped him. It wasn't that I didn't want it, it was that I didn't know what I wanted. Jason exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck. "I should go." I nodded, but as he stood up, I reached out and grabbed his wrist without thinking. "Wait." He looked down at me, his expression cautious. "Do you want to stay?" "Just to talk." He hesitated for a moment, then sat back down.
Yeah.
"Let's talk." We sat there, the silence between us stretching longer than it ever had before. I wasn't used to this kind of tension with Jason. Our friendship had always been easy, full of laughter and sarcasm, but now something unspoken lingered in the air. I cleared my throat. That wasn't as weird as I thought it would be. He chuckled, shaking his head. I told you I was good at it. I smiled, but the tension in my chest didn't ease. Did it feel different to you? Jason hesitated, then nodded.
Yeah.
It did. I swallowed hard, not sure what to say next. So, what does that mean? I don't know, he admitted. But I think we should figure it out. I looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time, I allowed myself to consider the possibility that maybe, just maybe, Jason had been more than just my best friend all along.